So right when we were finishing breakfast, David managed to spot and catch in the little stream next to us this tiny hatchling Malayan softshell turtle. We actually saw one here at dinner last night, but it slipped away. We weren't able to get it. But this guy here, I guess he's a juvenile, not as street smart yet, not as aware. He stayed still for far too long, and David was able to make a pretty impressive catch. But we love soft shells. I'll tell you that for sure. We absolutely love soft shells, and this has been our most productive trip for turtles ever. I think this is our 6th in-hand species of Colonian on this trip, and in my opinion, definitely the cutest. Look at him go. Smallest Malayan softshell I've ever seen, and these get surprisingly large. I'm always amazed by how small turtles start and how big they get, but the habitat's fantastic, the food was great, and we got a really nice little bit of a herpetofauna right here outside the kitchen. Insane. Yeah. Ow. Absolutely beautiful day with an occasional smattering of rain. You can see it just rained a little bit. The sun's out and now it's evaporating. You can see our cars looking grandiose there, and all the guys down in the restaurant, because we are leaving Satoon today to begin the final 3 nights of this trip, which will encompass the last video on this tour. Me, I'm going to be strapped up in the sling the whole time, and because of this situation, when this trip is finished, there's probably not going to be any new filming done for at least 3 weeks. I don't think I'm going to be able to get out herping much. Just going to focus on recovering as fast as possible, because I do have some incredibly fun and exciting and awesome trips coming up in the near future, which I do want to film. So there won't be a break in videos. I think I'll still be able to get at least 1 out per week, but we're just going to have a little bit of a gap between this and the next period of filming. Maybe I'll get out, who knows? If I can get someone to take me out, then I can still do some herping. You know, your boy can still spot. I just can't be scaling limestone cast rocks for a while, at least for a good couple months. But yeah, the guys are photographing the soft shell down there. But yeah, let's get on to our next location. I'm really excited. Just finished dinner here in Patalung, and we're about to head out. The weather is looking extremely dark and stormy, so I'm expecting rain to be coming in and out throughout the night. But nevertheless, this has been an extremely productive location for us for many, many, many years. So I'm expecting good finds. And without further ado, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out into the field, do some easy walking because of my broken wrist, and see what we can turn up. Holy crap, guys, the night just started. I was putting on my boots, and David walked down to the stream here and got an actual first for both of us. It's not a lifer, but it's the first adult striated bronzeback, Dendrolaphus striatus, we've ever seen. This is without a doubt, one of the rarest bronzebacks in Thailand by an enormous margin. And adults usually sleep so high in trees it is almost impossible to get them. In fact, we've only ever seen live Dendrolaphus striatus at this location. There seems to be a specific place where they are relatively abundant, and I say that we still see maybe maximum 1 a year if we come here multiple times. And we've hit our quota for this year today with this really cool looking one. It's so much, it's like the yellows on the neck fade so much at this size. Loads of people struggle to identify these when they pop up in the ID groups as adults, because they kind of look just strange. You have to really know what you're looking at in terms of bronzebacks.
I think it's also just because they're that uncommon. It's not what your brain immediately goes to when you see a bronzeback. Yeah. You're always thinking cyanochloris or some shit like that.
It's got a lot of stuck shed on it. This one
is not in good health. It's very skinny as well.
It's not too skinny.
Pick it up. It weighs literally nothing.
Well, that may explain why it was sleeping low down. Yeah. But yeah, we hadn't even got out properly, and the guy's already cooked up a rare snake. Let's go. Snake number 2 has showed up along the same little stream, looking for melanota. David saw some homolopsis as well, but just like the one we saw earlier on this trip, they've escaped. But this has to be the prettiest triangle keelback we've seen so far. Nice yellows, nice reds, and really nice greens. Can you tilt it a little bit this way? There we go. There's a great view of it. Really pretty individual that's not been the easiest to hold, I think. So got it gripped pretty hard, but that's a pretty snake. And of course, we see many of these this trip, so we're going to let it go back in the pool. All right, one more snake added to the tally. It's another one we've seen again. It's a beautiful Ahatylomycterizans. This is one quite a large adult with just the incredibly distinctive lime green coloration. It couldn't be more obvious on this one, that subtle color difference between Pras and this. You know, if you're new to the area, it's very hard to tell the difference from when looking at them from afar. But when you've been here and you've seen hundreds of each species, you can pretty much tell immediately. Not to mention when you get them in hand, that kind of barring on the body, that diagonal barring is a bit more obvious. But yeah, nice, another species. Let's keep walking. It's so easy here to rack up really high species numbers. We're up to 4 in the first few minutes of the night. Well, things have started absolutely fantastic tonight. Check this out. We just got Boiga jaspidea, man. Walking just a few minutes, 5th species, and this is the second what I'd consider very good species of the snake. Obviously, Dendrolaphus striatus is much rarer. We see jaspidea a couple times per year at least, but it's still always great to see them. And I was mentioning to the others that me and David have picked them up along this trail a couple times in the past. We consider this Thailand's rarest Boiga. Oh, yes. And David spotted it from quite far away, and we knew what it was because we could see the venter. And these have a very distinctive venter, which starts off this kind of like similar color to their dorsum, a little bit paler. And then show me the underside of the upper body. And then becomes really, really vibrant yellow towards the neck. And when you can see that from far away, oh, we're seeing a little bit of puffing too. These guys are big on the bird egg eating meta. They like to cruise around in trees, find birds' nests, and then raid them. Occasionally you can find them looking absolutely comedic with these huge round blobs in their very, very slender stomach. But we love a Jasper cat snake, and we love a productive night here in Patalung. And it started off that way. All right, well, we just spotted a dead Cyanochlorus, which is in a position which is very typical for how an owl would grab it and sit on there. And the owls obviously pecked at it quite a lot, and it's now become a feast for a moth. So we're seeing the jungle food chain, nature in action right here. All right, we just touched down inside this cave we frequently go to here. Look at the size of that huntsman. And I think I'm just gonna follow David around with my video to see if we can get a live snake encounter on film. Yeah.
Cave racer.
Really high. Oh, I've seen like very, very high up. Oh, that's so cool.
In situ. Hang on, let me get an in situ photo.
Aaron, give it a kiss.
Aaron, like point up at it and look at the camera.
Soy face.
Got it.
All right, back out of the cave and into the forest. We're already at 6 species of snake tonight, which is a good start for sure. And I'd be hoping to add at least 2 more species to that list. Would not be surprising at all. We've got a lot of time. We're going to check out another spot. All right, just left the main area, went out to drive to a new spot and cruise the snake along the way. It's a yellow Lycodon lauensis. This is actually the 3rd one we've seen on the trip, but I think this is the first one I've actually filmed. All the rest were found by the other groups, and either it was too inconvenient or I didn't see it entirely. But actually this is the first yellow colored one. All the rest were juveniles with whitish banding, but this one's banding has just finished the transition to yellow, and it's very pale as they come because of how young it is. But nice to road cruise a snake. A little bit of drizzle coming in, but I don't think it's going to get too heavy. This is species number 8 for us. David radioed in, said he got a trapeze. We told him just to release it in the forest, which is what we're going to do with this guy too. All right, it's still raining, but we got out to our spot we were driving to and finally got our first slug snake of the trip. This is day 11, I believe, of the trip, and we just got our first slug snake. That shows you just how dry it's been for the last 2 years, that the slug snake populations have really taken a nosedive. But you guys will recognize this as the keeled slug snake, Parius carinatus, a very, very cute pariatid, which of course, like all other members of the group, never bites. And it sounds like the rain is getting substantially heavier, so I'm not sure whether this will call for a little bit of refuge or we can keep going, but I already cannot tap the focus on my screen, which is not good. Let me see, where is it? Yeah, okay, I've got to be this far away. But yeah, rain's getting heavier, so enjoy this keeled slug snake while you can. A familiar scene. I just went to this pond, have a little zoom in over there. You can make out a triangle keelback. I'm trying to focus on the... This is maybe the smallest one we've seen on the trip, but this one, the last one had loads of reds. This one has even more distinguished colors. Look at the bright green on the head, transition to yellow, transition to red. That's a really pretty little snake there. A very typical place. It was just resting above a pond. Actually, how long ago? Back in 2013, when I used to come here, this pond here was amazing for these. In recent years, they filled it up with fish, but it seems like that pond has dried out and it's been reclaimed by the triangle keelback again. So that's a win in my books. Great, 2 species at this waterfall very quickly. Our next species in quick succession, and next species to add to the list, the growing list tonight, is this humble Batans prass. They're sleeping very low down on the edge of the road here. We see Mycterizans and prass a lot in this area. Obviously that's 2 out of 3 vine snakes already tonight. And I'm gonna leave this one in situ. Damn, guys, remember I just mentioned that's 2 out of 3 vine snakes? Well, there's the prass there that Michael's looking at. I walked 2 steps down and I was like, oh, a grey Batan's prass. Then I walked closer and saw that patterning on the neck there. And let's get round and take a close look at that head. Check it out, all 3 vine snake species in one night. And here, unlike the one we saw in Phuket on the first night, is a more like typical looking fasciolata, at least typical for a young one like this. The very kind of pale brown coloration. I guess it's realistically it's more grey than it is brown, even though there's tints of brown throughout. But yeah, that's very nice. I'm going to bring it out of situ and take a closer look. All right, guys, rain is continued, if not getting heavier, and we haven't seen anything good for a while, so this could be the end of tonight's video. But it's been a great night. It's been a really good night. We've seen a lot of snakes. I think we've seen like 10 species filmed tonight on the channel, and maybe the other guys got some other good stuff. Oh damn, never mind. Not the end of the night. Look what I just saw here. Look at that. Big melanota, really big one. All right, so obviously you guys know my arm is wrapped in a sling under the rain jacket, so I knew to have any chance of catching it, I had to put my phone away, and basically it immediately swam to the other side, and I just patiently followed it and followed it and followed it and followed it until finally it hit a fallen log, and I walked onto the log and I was able to pick it up and bring it to the path. Nice docile one, actually, really, really calm. I only just like picked it up and put it down. It didn't try to bite at all. It thrashed around a little bit, like when I caught it, like wiggled around, and now it's just chilling out on the path. You know what? It's kind of crazy that I was reacting like I found something insane, right? But this, who would have thought that on this expedition, Boiga melanota, one of the most common jungle-dwelling snakes in southern Thailand, would be our arch nemesis. We've been looking for this guy, this species, the whole freaking time, and even in our best spots this trip, they completely avoided us. Obviously, we saw 2 dead on the road in Satoon, but in all the areas which have turned up so many in the past, they just weren't there. But even though I was so tired, I knew David wasn't back yet, so I decided to do one more walk by myself after everyone else went to bed. And I saw that unmistakable pattern swimming in the river. I was thinking it's getting ridiculous. Like, surely there cannot be none around. Like, this spot is our most productive area, man. And now we got it. That's great to see. That's an awesome way to end the night. This will surely be my last snake. Whether David has something he can show me is another matter. I haven't spoken to him. He could have been there for this find. He just drove past me, actually. I think he wanted to do one more pass of the road. But I get out here and I get lucky and I get this beauty. So let's go, guys. So we were just gathering everyone for breakfast, and Magnus, who seems to have vanished, there he is over there, wave, just came up to us and was like, look what I found on the way from walking to the other rooms to yours. Juvenile Jumeral's monitor. It's the first time we've ever seen one, full stop, and they're famous for being so incredibly beautiful. They have the distinctive stripes that some of the adults have, like the one we saw on this trip, but they also have the huge, bright orange head, which is so massive on them when they're this size. And like, it's so vibrant and impressive looking. And neither are they scratchy nor bitey at this size. I mean, if they tried to scratch or bite, they wouldn't really do much because it's so tiny. I mean, look at it there on David's hand. The first record of jumerals at this locality for us, of any of the rare monitors actually, at this specific locality, which is just crazy. All right, now I've woken up a bit. We put the lizard here down and you can see it in habitat here. And that is just absolutely incredible. I was so groggy. I just woke up when we found this. I couldn't express how incredibly special this is. This could very well be the best find of the trip. Like, not only is Jumeral's monitor rare to begin with, but the juveniles are even rarer, and how beautiful they are is just, it beggars belief with that bright orange head. And so slow moving as well. Just happy to sit here. Let us take a few photos before we let it go. It was crossing the path outside our accommodation, you know? You don't always need to go hiking 10 kilometers deep in the jungle to find something amazing. Sometimes all you need to do is take a small walk in the morning hours outside your bungalow and you get an absolutely goated lizard. But we're gonna grab some food now, and then we're gonna go for a little afternoon foray because the weather's very good today, very cloudy, not raining though. And I'll catch up with you then, but check that out. That is amazing. All right, we made a quick stop by one of my favorite little cave areas, the area where we got the king cobra before on the last trip. And unsurprisingly, it turned up a cave racer. This one is nowhere near as productive as the cave site we went to last night, where we get one maybe 9 out of 10 times. But at this particular cave, I'd say 1 in 3 times is a cave racer in this very specific tunnel. I sent a couple of the guys in who were more mobile than me because it requires some climbing to get into this tunnel. And they got what's by far our biggest cave racer of the trip. And even though it's a Patalung morph, it's already becoming very white. When they get large, they go very pale on the upper body. Here, lower it onto this a little bit so I can take a look at that head. It's a little bit defensive, but that's nice. It's our third cave racer of the trip. Very, very great old world rat snake. Still somehow in the Elafe genus. I was 100% sure about that one, but I love a good rat snake, especially a big one with an awesome color transition like this. That's another cool find today. Very, very nice to see snakes out when we're going out during the daytime, because so often you're on the McSkunkington meta. Absolutely exquisite habitat here. I love this area so much. All right, saw a couple snakes in the daytime. The other one was a Tias Koros that vanished off the road when we were just walking around. We cruised it. But now we're heading out to dinner and we're gonna check out a totally different area tonight, a kind of swamp forest boardwalk type place, which we have been in the past, but haven't revisited in quite a while. So I'm quite excited to see what shows up there tonight. Let's get out there. All right, first find here at this peat swamp, or I guess, is this peat swamp bank?
Yeah.
Yeah, guessed. Some strange lakeside peat swamp. Is a reticulated python, a very young one with a very large meal. These are obviously quite abundant around here because we've seen them before here in our very limited trips to the area. But they're always cool to see. This one hasn't been touched at all. It was just crossing from one pond to the other. And now it appears to have decided that this isn't a good direction to go and retreat back into the other pond. But that's nice to see. Only our second retic of the trip, actually. And I can't remember if I got the other one on film, but this one for sure we got on film. Very nice. Look at it. It's kind of ridiculous. Definitely caught some kind of round boy. All right, Bang just spotted our next snake. This time it's the first Homolopsis I've been able to get on video this entire trip. We haven't caught any so far. We saw a few, but they all got away. This one's got some nice reddish coloration by the looks of things. Do you guys see it?
Yeah.
Look like under my foot, directly beneath my foot in the water.
Got it.
Nice. What the hell? Puff-faced mud snake. Oh! Alright, just finished that particular walk. We grabbed some stuff from the room and we're gonna... Wait, why'd you turn off the car? We're gonna head back off to a new spot. See if we can turn up anything else, because it wasn't too good the early part of the night.
Back of the cab.
Had a bit of a roadblock here. Yo, what's he doing? He needs to clap his hands behind it.
Cool.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Attack him or not?
Here's a nice Certodactylus lecagulli around these little huge rock formations you get in this area. It's not limestone, but just absolutely giant granite boulders. We saw the same triangle keelback as last night, but this is a new snake for this little area. No, as in one we didn't see last night. It's a Malayan vine snake. So nice common little species, glowing absolute neon yellow-green in the bushes, and I'm gonna leave it here because it looks great in situ. Holy crap, guys. For the first time in years now, this spot turned up a freaking Sabahai again. What, there's a spider climbing on. It freaking turned up a Sabahai again. A huge female as well. Like one of the largest Sabahai I've probably seen. Holy crap. First snake of the night up here. Or obviously earlier in the night, we didn't get any of our targets. The conditions were just not good enough there. So we switched up here, and this is the trail that I sent the guys yesterday. They didn't see anything. It was the only place I've seen Sabahai around here, but tonight with the messed up arm, I decided to take the risk of coming up this somewhat tricky trail where you have to climb underneath roots. I just spotted this glowing green of a viper in the undergrowth, and I was like, it's gonna be, isn't it? And it sure is. A huge female. Let's go. All right, there you go. I called the guys up because me and Jade had no snake hook. That was a little bit of a oversight on our part. I thought one of us might be carrying one, and then I realized I wasn't, and I realized Jade wouldn't. But we called the guys up because they were just down at the stream, and we can get to see what is one of the biggest Sabahai I've ever seen in Thailand. Like, this is funny, but the last one that I saw at this place, the only one I ever saw at this waterfall before 2 years ago, was about the same size as this. So I'm wondering, could it possibly be the same individual that I saw 2 years ago that's just been living in this area? Well, if you take a close look at her, she's gravid. So obviously there is a male in the area, because I doubt this one was parthenogenetic in its reproduction, although it is possible for some snakes which aren't suspected of being so originally. But you can see it's a proper like true Thai Fucatus morph, the lowland one, which isn't really diagnosed into a subspecies right now. It's kind of a hybrid zone between what we call Pucatensis and what we call like Sabahai Fucatus in Peninsular Malaysia, like the highland morph. Because you can see this one still retains a lot of banding. The males will have very strong red banding, nowhere near as strong as Pucatensis, but infinitely stronger than any you would see in Peninsular Malaysia. So that's the interesting thing about these. And even though this is a huge female, you can still see remnants of patterning all the way down her body, which defines this kind of Thai Peninsula morph, which are often, like we are now, we're only at 200 meters above sea level and we get it here. You often get these in the lowlands down here. It's a really interesting clade that has yet to be really truly diagnosed amongst the group, but we got a great look at her now there, and everyone's going to be super happy because this brings us to 7 viper species on this trip, and she's trying to climb. What do you think, Bank? Common? Shit? What do you think? I said, what do you think? Common or shit?
Shit.
One more vine snake along the road. It's been an absolute vine snake party along this road the last 2 nights. This time it's a prass and the brown form. Don't think I filmed one this trip, but here it is, the humble Batan's prass. Welcome back to another day, and actually the very last day of the expedition Thai Peninsula. It pretty much poured with rain the entire day, so we had some long afternoon naps because a few people in the crew are feeling a little bit under the weather. Not too sick, just a little bit under the weather, run down after what's been an intense 13 days of herping here. And we've got 1 evening remaining. We're just getting out during the daytime just to drive around, see if we get lucky, if anything shows up in the road, or if we get out for a little shine around. Otherwise, I'll catch you after dinner for the night's activities. All right, just jumped out the car at night and checked back on the triangle killback, and sure enough, it's in the exact same place, although I can actually see 2 this time, which brings into question whether we've been seeing the same one every time, or it's been 2 sharing the same spot. I can see if I can show you guys how well, but like, it's just there. You can make it out. Yeah, you can make it out properly. Roughly the same size as the other one. I always say these guys come in pairs, and that's certainly the case here as well. 2 beautiful triangle killbacks kicking off the night. Man, this area is so cool. Look at the size of these giant boulders in the forest. Like, so incredibly massive. This place is an area I hold very close to my heart. One of the first places I was exploring when I first came to Thailand as a kid. And it's sad this is probably going to be the last day of herping in southern Thailand this year, at least not in Phuket. So I'm trying to soak it in while I can. And hopefully it gives us something, you know. We got to wait, we got to grind, we got to focus, be patient. I reckon something good is going to show up. All right, first proper snake of the night. Believe it or not, we got a second Fucatus, and this is like a young adult female. And this locality, yeah, has a lot of bands. Like, we could see them in the female, and they're even more, the big female, and they're even more visible on this little one. You can see significantly smaller than the one we had last night, but still very nice. And yeah, they seem to be occupying this area strangely after, you know, we've come here maybe like 30 times plus, but probably more than that over the years. This is only the 3rd one we've ever found, and now we've got them on back-to-back nights, which is a really good sign because we were worried after we missed them last year and at the other locations we used to traditionally get them here. So it's nice to have a location which seems to now have quite a stable population of these, although we're yet to see a male, so that'd be great to see. But I'm liking the little white spots along the dorsum. Really interesting looking individual. Nice life stage that we haven't seen at this location before. Kind of young, maybe like just sub-adult female. Very nice. Here's only our 2nd snake since that Fucatus, just a Malayan vine snake. These are super common in this really rich forest area here, and I'm going to leave it in situ. Just a little itty-bitty juvenile. Cute. Just got another vine snake. Actually, I saw another Mycterizans, but it was identical to the last one. But this is another grey phaser Hatilla fasciata, just like we got on the first night, but definitely a different individual. About the same size though. This one's sleeping above the road here, looking kind of cool. You can see that very distinctive head there. Looks different to the other vine snakes. Not to mention those orange stripes you can see there. All right, I got this vine snake down and it expanded its neck and looks really beautiful. I wasn't going to film it originally, I just wanted to show the guys. But this one's got some really nice yellows in that kind of checkerboard neck, which is one of the really cool distinguishing features of these. I really like the grey morph because of how distinctive the pattern is. That's a cool snake, but we're going to put it back in the tree now. Here's a really big Mycterizans just after the other fasciolata, so a vine snake frenzy on the road again. All different individuals too. How crazy is that? All right, along with some Thai ranger bosses who are friendly in this particular spot, an actually worthwhile snake showed up tonight. Well, one we haven't got up close with before on the trip. We saw one of these high in a tree in Trang and took so unbelievably long trying to get it down, and eventually it vanished into the canopy. But now we've got one in hand. This is just a little sub-adult, typically kind of brown coloration. We don't often see many pretty individuals in this part of Thailand. Those ones that are like so vibrant with a bright green head tend to be a bit more abundance closer to the Malaysian border. But we do occasionally see really nice green-headed ones. They're kind of typical color for this size, with the slightly darker head, which will gradually darken up as it ages, and then black spots visible on the dorsum. Some of them retain this all the way into adulthood, but that's a nice find. And we're going to keep walking around here, as I believe much more can be turned up. It's just a little bit slow tonight, but we're seeing stuff at a fairly consistent pace. Nice. I was about to say that this would have been the first time I'd ever come to this spot more than one night in a row and not seen Bengkuluensis. And then right on cue, one shows up. There's another species out here tonight. And since it's been getting dry the last couple of years, these have been showing up less and less. Let's just tap this little boy so we can get a look at that head there. Come on, just focus. There we go. Wait. There, now we're seeing some focus. Are we? Yeah, okay. Now we can see this Bengkuluensis. Not a small one in terms of like being a juvenile per se, but it still hasn't, you're not even close to developing the like adult coloration. You can see the green is only just starting to come in on the head and upper body. Much less so than that one we saw in Trang a couple videos back. But yeah, some really nice colors on that upper body. Look at that. I think I'm just going to leave this one in situ. I'll call David down, see if he wants to film a quick clip with it, since for the first time this trip we're walking together while there's another group somewhere else. And we'll catch up with them in a bit and see what they found. But I don't want to stop here because snakes are showing up slowly but surely. I was about to say whoops, very steadily picking up snake species tonight. There's a big Tia Spuska up there. Not a species we see commonly at this waterfall at all. I know the quality is really bad because my phone's still got a little water inside it. It's hard to film far away, but you can see it there just in case it escapes. All right, here's a slightly better video. I don't think we're going to catch it. I think we're just going to get a bit closer and take some in situ shots. All right, here's a much better look at this one. I was able to climb up and we get a good look at what is a huge Tia Spuska. Like, that's easily as big as the one in Satoon. Oh shit. You see all, oh no. I just disturbed the nest of those freaking like insanely colorful wasps right in front of my eyes. Did you see them flying around, guys? Fortunately, none of them stung me, but that was a close call. All right, it's been pretty good here. But I think we're gonna wrap up now because it's our last day. We got to be up early tomorrow and we really don't want to be out super late. So I think we're going to call it here and see what the other guys have found, because I haven't got much word with them, but I'm sure they found some snakes. So let's go take a look and I'll catch up with you guys in a minute. Yes, there it is. All this extra walking finally paid off and we got one. I know, guys, it's not a showstopper. It's just Apelopeltra boa. But you guys know that everybody that comes here, this is so high on their target list, and it's evaded us all trip due to the dry weather or just a bit of bad luck. And now, at last, got this beauty showing up in situ here to cap off the final night, at least our walk. So, oh, what the hell? Something's stinging my neck. Anyway, I'm going to pick this up, film a little bit of in-hand video, then I'm going to bring it back to the others because they're going to want to see this for sure. All right, I've switched hands here because cinnamon roll mode has been activated. Look at that. I flipped it upside down and you can see why this is one of the most cute and revered snakes in the land. The legendary blunt-headed slug snake. It's cool that this one's doing it because not every individual does this ridiculous cinnamon roll defensive technique. But this one certainly is. It's kind of a nice chocolate brown one. Not a morph we see that often, one this dark, but that's certainly great to see. And here's one last look at this guy before I bring him back to the guys. It's just, obviously, it's a very good find in the context of tonight because we only had one night left to see this species and add another one to our count, and we got it. So you love to see it, guys. So here's a pretty neat find that the other guys got. They got a freaking pink orchid mantis, which I don't think I've ever shown on my channel before, even though I have seen these in the past. I just feel like in the last couple of years, at least in times when I was filming, I didn't encounter them. They're absolutely incredible flower mimicking mantises, which ambush prey that will come to them thinking they're a flower. And it's actually quite small, very small actually, but absolutely beautiful and 100% a rare find out here. There's certain times of the year where like real experts may be able to turn them up more often, but certainly I only see them maybe once a year or something like that ever. So this is a really special encounter. What an incredible animal. All right, the other guys got another new species for the trip tonight. They got this striped bronzeback, which was a very notable absentee from the previous locations, especially this one, because we get them so much along this trail. And obviously we didn't see any in Phuket that time. This one's in Slough. You can see it's got the blue eye, but it would probably be really pretty if it wasn't, because we can already see some quite nice, like bronzy, golden brown coloring towards the tail. And of course, it would be very much more colorful on the neck and head at this size. But yeah, that's another species. And I believe we're up to something crazy, like 47, 48 species of snake this trip, which is just wild. Definitely breaking our record from previous expeditions. Well, it's not a dead one this time, but there is a king cobra shed skin there. Absolutely huge scales, gives it away. Truly giant. It's quite old, but we didn't see it before, so it might have been from the last like day or so. Sheesh. All right, one more snake did show up, and it's a good one. Look, all the way over here, spotted something unmistakable moving in the ground over there. That's a big Malayan crate right there. A big, highly venomous elapid. Let's go take a close look. It'll probably kind of just like freeze. Yeah, very, very decent size one. Not quite comparing to that absolute giant that I got in Krabi, which I didn't film. Now I'm remembering I didn't film it. But a nice big adult, and I guess this is now the first adult I think I filmed on this trip, or first one full stop on this trip, and this is Malayan crate number 4. We usually turn up quite a few of these on our expeditions, and this one has been no different. It wasn't quite like last time where I feel like we saw 6 or 7 Malayan crates, but this time 4 will do. The other guys got one last night that was in the process of feeding. I'm sure you'll see that in David's video, but this time I went out for a little walk by myself. Got this beautiful banded elapid out here. Fantastic. That's so cool. Maybe I'll film a little more in a second. Let me just grab an in situ picture. Look at that cute little stuffed animal eyes. Little stuffed teddy bear eyes it has there. Looks so harmless. Look at him go. You wouldn't think that this snake possesses the most potent venom of any snake in the country. Look, especially from this angle. Looks so dopey and harmless. He'll hide his head in here and feel like we can't see him at all. Yeah, look. They can't see me. They can't see me. It's like a little baby. If it can't see us, we can't see its 1.1 meters of striking black and white body. This one's got some really nice blue hues. I wonder if it's in the early process of shed, but I didn't notice anything on the head. Nothing at all. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Gonna leave this guy in situ here for sure. Keep moving on. Well, I thought we were done, but me and Tibor just continued walking after the Malayan crate, just together around the rooms. There's a big rat snake, and I'm going to grab it. 1 second. All right, I'm filming with my duff hand here, but this is a freaking massive Koros, even bigger in person than it seemed on the freaking log there. I somehow need to find a way to switch this guy over to my, yeah, there we go. Okay, now with my cast hand, which I now can have more mobility of my fingers as of today. It's been a very good day. The pain's gone down a lot, and I can actually use my fingers for stuff, which was really, really challenging before. You see I've got this really massive Koros, easily going on 1.8, 1.9 meters. Really healthy too. Quite bland color-wise, but it's more of like a brown one than the maybe typical gray ones we see a lot of in the south. Look at him. He wants to kill. He wants to kill. He almost got me. Almost got my bad wrist, buddy. You can't do that. All right, any either way, I'm gonna let him go now. We had a good play with this guy, and you can see a huge Koros, which don't often get a chance to have a look at in the flesh here. Look at that. Just out here messing about on my own. Everyone else has gone to bed. It's the last day of the trip, and this guy is gonna attack my foot again. Look at him go. You don't usually associate Koros with being such a biter, but it is what it is. He'll crawl off, find a nice place to rest, and I'll see you later, boss. Peace.